you want to be the best pianist of all time? Do you want to win all gigs just with your fingers? It is easy as pronouncing Do Re Mi Fa Sol La Ti Do. Play like a pro with Emmanuel Lugwe. Subscribe, drop a comment and share with your friends.
Yes, hi, what's up, my good people? This is Emmanuel, of course, your best piano tutor. Now, I just saw it nice for me to do this lesson because most of you have been asking me to do the settings for especially SX900 and SX700. So I'm going to just show you the basic settings of worship, how you can set good worship in this keyboard, and also 700 because SX900 and 700 are very close. And maybe you can get some of the voices in SX600 because the version is just the same, SX. All right, so if you are here for the first time, please, you can subscribe, hit notification bell, and share with your friends so that tomorrow when I produce a new lesson, you can be notified. All right, so I'm from switching on this keyboard. So I've not set anything. I've just switched it on. So when you switch this keyboard on, it will bring to you this panel or setting here on the screen that you are seeing. So of course, on the right one, what you're having on your right one, you have the concert grand. You have the concert grand. So when you switch it on, automatically it brings you this panel here that you're seeing. Concert grand, settle strings, and steel acoustic guitar. Now, maybe I can take you through these buttons here. Now, this right one is the voice that you will be playing on your right hand. On your right hand. The voice that you'll be playing on your right hand. Now, I'm taking my time to just explain to you everything so that you can understand. Now, right one is your voice, the main voice, or you can call it the main voice. But for me, I do use it as the main voice. So that is your right one. Right one. So for worship, I do right one, concert grand. So you press right one, the upper button here. You press right one. And then you come to piano and is piano. Piano and E piano. So you press. If you press that, it will bring, you just press it once. So from right one, the upper button, you press just once. So you press it, right one, you just come here on your piano. And then you choose a voice called concert grand. It's the very first voice. But also you can search grand piano. If you just press here, now for SX, it's very advantageous because you just touch the screen and you search grand piano. So on the search bar, you type grand piano. It will bring for you the voice grand piano. It will bring for you the voice grand piano. But for me, I like using the concert grand. The concert grand. All right, so that is your right one. Now, to activate it or to switch it on or switch it off, you use the lower button, this one. So if you switch it off like that, you don't hear any voice. There is no any voice that is coming from the keys. So if you press it, the lower button on your right one, you activate it and the voice is back. The voice is back. So that is your right one. That is your right one. Now you can also put right two. We can also put right two. Now for me, right two, the voice that I normally like to use. So you come to right two. It's off. Right two is off. So you can press the upper button. You first select and then you put it on. So you select the right two voice. Like for me, right two, I like to use a suitcase or the suitcase ballad or suitcase jazz. So you press right two and then you come to the category of piano and E piano. piano and E piano. So you can press right 2, and then you come and press piano and E piano. You select a voice called suitcase E ballad or suitcase jazz or suitcase tremolo, according to me how I set my worship on the SX900. So you choose suitcase ballad, suitcase jazz, or suitcase tremolo. And then you come and put it on. So you press the lower button to put it on. If you press it, you put it off. So you press it to put it on. Now, before you play, you come to the settings. You come to the settings. Now, normally these settings all are arranged at 100. So you'll find all of them at a constant of 100 volume. 100 volume. When you put the keyboard on, you'll find all the voices are at 100. Now, you put the right one a bit higher than the rest because it's the main voice. So you can add it to 127 if you want, or you can add it to 125 if you want. So you can put it a bit higher than the rest. And then for this voice, you can reduce it to 3/4 of the main voice. That is maybe at 80 there or at 80. All right. So if you put it on, you can try to play. You see the voice that you're getting. So that is right 2. That is tremolo. You can also try suit jazz. Nice. You can also try suit ballad. I really love suit ballad. Okay, so the main voice, that is the right one. The right one is supposed to be a bit higher than the right 2. And then now we can look for a right 3 voice. So for SX700 and 900, sorry, you can align 3 voices. You can align 3 voices. So you can layer at least 2 voices on top of the main voice, the right one. So we come to right 3. So because it's a worship, we can put a pad or some strings, nice strings that can bring the mood of worship. That can bring the mood of worship. So we come and press the upper button. You press right 3, the upper button. You press right 3, and then you press right 3, and then you press choir and pad. So you come at the top buttons here. You look for choir and pad. Choir and pad. You press choir and pad. It brings you this panel here. And then you use this scrolling wheel here. You can scroll it to the right. You search for hot shell. Like myself, I like using hot shell or dark fatso, but I like using hot shell. So you come and put it on. You come and put it on. You come and activate it. Put it on. Now, so you can hear the pad is very loud, very, very loud. The pad is very loud. So you can come to your mixer here. Again, mixer and EQ, you press mixer and EQ. And then you come to the panel, you reduce it. You use the scroll button, the wheel, the scroll wheel, you scroll it to the left. You reduce it, you reduce it. So you can reduce it depending with what you are playing. Sometimes maybe you are deep in prayer, you can add it. So you can add it or you can reduce it depending with what you are playing. Depending with what you're playing. Right 3, you can also put strings. So I've given you one option. You can use the hot shell pad. Can use the hot shell pad or dark fatso. Let's look for dark fatso. Dark fatso is here. So on the choir and pad, you look for dark fatso. Sounds also nice. So if you hear it is a bit lower, you can go to the scroll wheel and you just add the volume. You add the volume. You can use the scroll wheel, or you can just tap the screen and you add or reduce. You tap the screen and add or reduce. So you can add or reduce. Yeah, the other option that you can use is the strings. So you can also look for nice strings. You just press the right three, the upper button. You press the upper button, this button here, you press it, and then you come to the strings. Strings is here. So you press strings, it will bring you to this panel, and then you come to the search bar. You search for strings. Search for strings. You search for strings. Just tap this scroll bar. You tap the search panel, and you go to strings. You look for just strings. Yeah, strings are here. Strings are here. So we use that panel. We see the panel, so you press strings. You just tap on the strings, and then you come here. You come here on the mixer. Press it once. Yeah, and then you reduce it. You reduce the right three volume. Reduce the right three volume. So you can activate the strings and see. If they are lower, you add them. Now, sometimes you can find the strings are very sharp, like they have a lot of highs. So remember, the SX keyboard has also an EQ, a mixer, an EQ. It also has an EQ. So you can also press the EQ. It is just here. You can come here and press EQ. I think you can see. So you come here and press EQ. If you press EQ, it brings you to a panel. Right 1, right 2, right 3, left. So these are the voices. These are the voices. So you come here, and if you hear the strings are very high, the strings have a lot of highs. So you can see this category here is for highs, and we have the low. So this is an EQ. You can control the lows and the highs. So you can come here and press on the highs. You just reduce the highs using the scroll wheel. You reduce the highs. You can reduce the highs. You can also, if you hear the strings doesn't have low, you can also add the low. That is the right three. Oh, okay, not only the strings, but also the other voices. You can also add the highs or the lows of the right one. The highs or the lows of. So you come to right one. If you hear it doesn't have highs, you can add the highs. You can add the high. You can add the highs. You can add the highs. You can add the highs. Or you can reduce. If you hear they are so loud, you can reduce. You can come to the lows also and add the lows. If you hear you don't have the lows, like you have a lot of highs, you can also come and add the lows. The same applies to the right too. You can add or reduce the highs. You can add or reduce the highs. Okay, the other option that you have is to come to your assign and live control buttons. They are here, the wheels. You can also use the assign, the live control, or assign buttons. If you hear the strings are very sharp, you can just come here on your first live control assign button. You scroll it to the, I think you can see on the screen. If you scroll it to the left, you can see it's reducing. So it's kind of muting, like you're muting the sharpness. You can hear. So you're kind of muting the sharpness. If I add it, you can find it's becoming more sharp. If I put it at the center, it's neutral. That is how it sounds when it's not working. You can also put it to the right hand side. You're adding the sharpness. So you can just mute it a bit. You can just mute it a bit so that the strings don't come out to be so sharp or loud. Okay, I normally say depending with also what you're playing. Depending with what you are playing. Depending with what you are playing. So those are just some basic settings that you can find on the SX700 and 900. Now, maybe you also want to use the bass. You just come on the left. If you want to use the bass, you come on the left. You press the upper button to select a voice. You come to the category of bass. So you press bass and you look for maybe sub bass or mini sub bass. You look for sub bass. It's there. Sub bass, you can look for sub bass and put it on. You put it on using the lower button. So if you put it on, let's see the split. Let's see the split. So if you put the bass on, you've selected your bass and it's on, and you find that it's not working. It's not working. So you go to the menu, you press menu here, this button. You press menu, and then you just press it once, because if you press it twice, it brings you to another panel, menu 2. So you have menu 1 and menu 2. You can just press here. Brings you back to menu 1. You come to split and fingering. It's here, split and fingering. You press it. So split and fingering, you again come to left hand. You come to left hand. You press it just below here. Left hand. So we have style, left hand and right 3. The split, how to split the voices. So if you come to left hand, the last key that is splitting, or you're supposed to play the bass, it's C sharp. This key, the last one. You can hear it's the last key. So you come again to this the search wheel. You come again to the search wheel. Sorry, I've pressed the bank by mistake, but it's all right. Just okay. Okay, we are good to go. We are good to go. We added to 127. We added to 8 there, and this one. All right, and then we mute it a bit. We mute it a bit. So we are putting the bass. We had selected the bass, and then it was not working. So we are putting it on. We are putting the split on. So you come to the left. You press the left, and then you use the modulation, or not modulation. Sorry, use the scroll wheel. You can rotate it to the right. Rotate it to the right. Like you look which is the last key that you want your bass to play at. For me, I like using this one to be the last key. This one here. This one. Okay, so as you can hear, the bass. So that is if you are using the bass in your worship. I know some of you are used to playing a one-man. You're using the bass on your left hand. That is how you can just play. Okay, so those are just some few settings on how you can set your worship on the SX700 and SX900 keyboard. Those of you who are using this kind of keyboard, you can have the settings. I've said depending with what you're playing. You set the keyboard depending on what you're playing. All right. So thank you so much. I'll see you in the next lesson. If you have any question, you can comment in the comment section below. I'll consider your comment, and you can also use my WhatsApp number. It is there at the top. You WhatsApp me and I will have a talk. If you also need private lessons, you can also WhatsApp me using my number. Is there. Thank you guys. I'll see you in the next lesson. Bye bye.